Hi, this is Chantal from ThePurringCatStudio and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited to show you my idea. I love crafting accessories. I love crafting items, whatever you want to call them. I purchased a little too much. But there's one thing I don't have, and it's chipboards. I find them to be quite expensive for the amount you get when you purchase them. I don't have a machine to cut them. I think you can use certain die cuts, or maybe it's a die cutting machine that you can use with the board themselves, the chipboard, right? Which is like a very thin wood, I would think. I don't have that, and I don't want to purchase, like a pack of pre-cut chipboards if I don't like all of the pieces. Maybe if they weren't so expensive, to my taste, I find they're too expensive. I've looked up and paying, I don't know, like $9 or $12 for 3 or 4 pieces, and out of the 3 or 4 pieces, there's only 2 I like. I usually don't purchase them. Maybe there's a better deal somewhere. I don't know. In any event, it doesn't matter. What do you do when you don't have any? You make them. So if you want to see how I do it, how about we meet each other on the other side of the intro? Okay, so here they are. I am so happy. I'm so really happy with myself. Look at this. It's beautiful. It's vintage. I mean, this is beautiful too. Actually, I would glue those together because they make a beautiful flower. Look at that. I love it. So let's get right into it and I'll show you how I made those. It's easy peasy, but there are a few things I might let you know of so that you don't find yourself in a difficult position or having to restart something. So let's do a little, like a tag, a little bit like this one, if you will, right? You could go up to, I don't know, 8, 10, of the same. I think this one has, well, I can't remember, 4, I think. You could go up to 6. 6 would be a good idea. So for this, I used my die cut, my tiny baby sidekick die cut machine, and I just made multiple of the bigger flower. And I think actually this is only 3, so it could be a lot thicker to have really something that feels more like a chipboard. I just stopped at 3 because I was satisfied with this, and it's thick, it's pretty solid. But if you want something a little thicker, a little more chipboardy, you could go as 10 if you wish. It doesn't matter. It's just you have to make sure you align everything together when you glue them. And I did like 3 of the smaller one, and there you go. I had my chipboard flower. So same thing with the leaf. And this one, I think I'm trying to figure out if I have 4, maybe. I'm not sure. But the effect is amazing. It's gorgeous. I mean, when you make a journal and you want like a title on top, this is perfect for that. And you could make it even thicker, like I said, to make it even more like a chipboard. Okay, so how I did this. So I took, for this, let's say we'll make another tag, but we'll add even more to it. So you cut as many as you wish of, your paper. This is cardstock. It was already colored. I don't use it a lot because I don't like how the colors come out in the printer with it. So you would cut 4, 6, 8, how many you decide to cut of the same size, same. I think I shouldn't have turned this because it has to be even, although I could always trim it. So let's say, for the sake of showing you the example for now, we will do 4. I have already prepped the work a tiny bit. So you would start by gluing these 2 together, let's say, or yeah, So you would glue these two. Like so. And the good thing is, because you have liquid glue, you can always wiggle and make sure that everything is even. And because it's paper, you can of course trim if you find that things are not even. This is just my example, so it doesn't matter too much. I've prepped the work to show you after. So let's say you want to make a tag and you want to put some eyelet in it. So you would glue these together. Now pretend the holes are not there, exactly like this, okay? Because I made them, I should have not made them right away, but I'll just glue them together first. Okay, I'm trying to go somewhere with this. I'm sorry if the explanation is not clear for now, but you'll understand. Whoops, this is not lined up because the example wasn't supposed to be like that. Okay, so you would glue two of them. Now, I would not glue 4 or 6 or more, obviously, because for me, I found that over 3 layers, I can't punch anymore. It's like first of all, my hands are not that strong. And also, I mean, they're strong, but this is a lot. And this is just a paper punch. So past 3 layers of this paper cardstock, if you will, the punch squeezes and then stays stuck like this, and I have to pull on it and I'm afraid to break it. So I wouldn't go more than 3 layers. I went 2 for this. So, oh yes, that's why. And so I glue 2 of them and I punch a hole here, and then I'm going to punch my hole there. And then you have a choice, or you put this on top and, you know, with a pencil you mark where you're going to put your other holes, or, which is, I did both really, or you just glue like so, and just, okay, I don't think I've been moving this piece. This is just to show you. And then you would glue and punch through the holes that are already made, like such, right? Like this, you just align it with it and you punch. So that way you're not punching through 4 layers, you're really just punching through 2 layers, okay? So I'm gonna put this aside because clearly this is all crooked. This was just to explain to you that if you're gonna put, you know, 5 or 6 layers of paper together, of cardstock, you won't be able to punch a hole through it unless you have a special, you know, equipment. I just have this and it wouldn't go through more than 3, and even at 3 I was a little worried it would get stuck. Okay, so let's put this aside, and as I said, I did prep the work. So I glued, I think this is I think this is 6. Yes, this is 4 and this is 6 pieces of paper. So I went 2 by 2 by 2. I've inked the edges. I'm going to ink them a little more. They're not inked enough. Oh my goodness, I love this. This is walnut stain. I am in absolute love. Love, love, love. I had espresso, which I adore. It's very dark. This is also dark, but a different dark, less blackish dark, if I can say. It's I don't know, there's something else to it. Or it's in my head, I don't know. But I don't think so. You know, when you have when you're a crafter, I mean, you can see the difference in the shades. Anything to justify a purchase. No, but seriously, I'm not kidding. I mean, they are different shades. I am certain of it. It's almost like espresso, but it's not as, it doesn't have that black undertone, I would say, as espresso has, ground espresso. Anyways, I absolutely adore it, but I bought it online and I thought I was buying the big one. I did not know I was getting the small one. So yeah. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to go put some eyelets. Wait, now, am I going to do it before or after? No, I'm going to do it after. Never mind what I just said. Okay, so I did this, and I also made one with a heart. So a lot of you have already have bunches of all kinds of shape. So I have circles and I have this shape. That's the only ones I possess. This is a die cut, and this I just, you know, cut squares of papers. I mean, it's not hard, because after that, all I did was, if I can find my scissors. All right, these are not, oops, sorry about that. It just hit the camera. Those are not the scissors I wanted. I think my son borrowed them. But in any case, all I did to make it look more like a, you know, a tag is really exactly like this. See? I just chopped off the corners. There's no angles really. It's really just the tip of the tag. You don't have to wonder if you'll be at the right angle. Whatever you chop off is pretty much it, because it's so small, it won't show if you are not at the same exact angle. Okay, so now see, now in my head all I have is, where are my scissors? Anyways. Okay, so this is just die cuts for me because I don't have punches and such. But we will do, I'll try and see if I have time for both, although I know all you really want, and I understand, is to see how I did this. So I hope I'm being clear. I don't find that actually it doesn't matter, I'll have an eyelet in it. So before you do anything else to make it look more like this, or put your eyelets, you want to decide right away what you're going to do, how you're going to decorate this. So I have decided that I will print the word memories. I like it, and I am tempted to put this stamp. I just love how it makes a nice background. So you know what, because these two won't go in the same journal, why don't I just indulge myself and do as I please and not as I think I should, and just restamp this beauty. I just love it. I can't get enough of it. Best purchase ever. I use it all the time. So you've seen me use it everywhere. It makes a beautiful background, and it's discreet enough that you don't see it too much where it's overpowering everything else you do. That's why it's called the background. And it's vintage. It has all the good qualities. I go sideways a tiny bit, like so. Tiny bit more here, why not? Just a tad. There we go. Perfect. It is beautiful right away. Oops, hold on. There you go. Love, love, love it. Now I'm going to stamp the word memory. Memories. I put S's where there's no S's, and I don't put them when they're needed. Welcome to my world. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, perfect. Oh, I love it. Love, love, love it. I got these little letters that you clip together at Michael's. They weren't very expensive, and they were perfect for my needs. Although some words you might have to do in two shots. I don't know how else to say it. If let's say I just had one M, I would have had to spell M-E and then take the letter out and Maurice. But I had two M's, so that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that it's in the middle, as much as height and width as well. And I'm going to press down. Oh, I moved a tiny bit. I don't think it matters too much for in this instance, actually, because it's supposed to be vintage. And oh, I think it actually adds. Okay, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Okay, I'm going to go put the eyelets because I don't have the crocodile, so I can't do it, you know, on the screen because because if I start hammering, you're all going to switch channels. I'll be right back when the eyelets are put in. Okay, so I'm back and the eyelet have been put in. I did mention that we weren't going to put them in before the next step, and I kind of forgot in my excitement. So if I can recommend something, don't put the eyelets just yet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another one just to show you, because I'm afraid that my little enthusiasm might have made my work a little more difficult for the next part. So let me fix this. Okay, so I'm going to glue these And I'm going to show you how to make the other step. It's just like I said, I got a little too happy and enthusiastic about the project, and I realized, uh-oh, I put the eyelets too quickly. It doesn't mean it's not going to work, but I would wait till the last minute. Also, while I was putting the eyelet, this is important because it might raise some frustration, as it did in me. I think, I'm not sure. These are new eyelets, and I think they might be a little bigger than the ones I had before. The ones I had before, I would punch this and they would go right in. The ones I have seem to be a tiny hair bigger. But for some reason, they didn't fit in the holes I punched. Not quite. So I just took a pencil and gently wiggled my way, right? So there we go. So let's, okay, so these are glued. I'm going to ink the edges and try and think of what I want to do as far as, you know, decorating this little heart. I mean, might as well do it properly. It will become a nice chipboard. I don't know if I want to put anything in it. Do I need to put anything in it? You know, I'm a little close, aren't I? Sorry about that. I wanted you to see everything, but now it's a little too close. Okay, there we go. Oh, look how gorgeous it is. It would be beautiful just like that, but you know me, I gotta do something else. Let me think of something real quick. What could I add? Okay, well, I found the word, a word that I want to put in it, or words. It says in our hearts, so why not? It has to. I must. Okay, I'm going to put a background though to this word just to make it more interesting. I'm gonna put this here, and I'm going to use this background stamp. I call it my background step. Step? What did I say? Step. Background stamp. See, I'm tired, so English goes out the window. Bye-bye. You know what? I'm not working in a very smart way right now. There you go. I find that it's easier to go like this, and it's also another trick. So when I stamp on fabric, instead of putting the stamp on the fabric, I put the fabric on the stamp, and I can press gently with my hand everywhere and make sure that the stamp is properly stamped. There we go. Look at that. Now you're too far. Hold on. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness, it's just adorable. Okay, love, love, love. Perfect. I'm going to put this away, and now I will glue this. Oh, it's so pretty. I like it. Just going to ink a tiny bit more just to really give it some depth. I was going to put, like, I don't know, a little piece of fabric, but I really, really love this. I don't want to hide it. Okay. And I will show you finally the step that I kind of jumped in my enthusiasm, as I was saying. This already has glue, so I don't know what I'm doing. It's for those of you who think I'm just old and confused, I'm confused, but I'm not that old. But I'm also, this is, you know, I have a full day of work in me, so the brain is half asleep. It's okay though. I still have enthusiasm, so okay, so the next step is really a lot of fun. I'm hoping it'll work on this, because I'd be very sad if I ruin this. I kind of really love it, so I'm hoping it won't be ruined. But let's try. Let's try. So this is a clear stamp for using with embossing powders. Now, this really worked well, as you can see on the ones that I've showed you before, right? It's gorgeous. It's all shiny, and I will give you alternatives that I have not yet tried. Doesn't mean it doesn't work, because I know the medium, and I know it does. But first, let's do this so we don't get too lost in our story. You know me and the GPS. It's broken. I can't ask for directions because, you know, why would I? And there's no driver. Actually, I'm the driver. I just don't know where I'm going. I'm kidding. I actually know where I'm going. That's why I started this video. Yeah, last night I was just so happy of my bright idea. I'm not saying anyone else has never done it. I'm sure it's been done, but I can promise you that this came in my little head on my own last night, sitting in my studio wondering, what could I do? What could I show them? Why do I feel like there's nothing on there? It's strange. Do these things go dry, or is it just that I can't see that it's... I'm just going to trust that it's there. Okay. Let's put some powder. See, that's the why I didn't... I don't know. Maybe putting the eyelet first. You're going to have to try. You know, it's trial and errors. The reason is it might have made the hole even smaller once the powder dried. And maybe it would have been even harder to put the eyelets than I found it to be earlier, as I was saying, right? So, you know what? Maybe this is a good thing. I'm going to do this one right away. Why not? Okay, so, yes, this is any one of you who has done embossing powder, I'm thinking you have this. It's just a clear, it's just to make the powder stick. Okay. And I'm not touching the front because I want it to be everywhere. That's why I'm holding it this way. I'm just making really certain that it's everywhere. And I close this and the embossing powder before I start with the blower, the heat gun, because I don't want to ruin this. This will become hard in the bottle, I'm sure, if it gets any kind of heat on it, right? Because that's what it does. So at the same time, for those of you who've never used embossing powder, welcome to Embossing Powder 101. So the secret is not necessarily that. You take the excess and try not to touch the front because you don't want to take any of the powder off. I'm just going to lay it like this for now. I'm going to do the same with the heart. If you hear meowing, it's my cat. She wants out, but I'm a little busy. She will have to wait a few seconds. So what you do is then you take your bottle. I know this was not about embossing powder, but this is part of this project, so might as well just let you know. You can't see really well with the angle. I'm just putting the powder right back in the little bottle. That's why a little bottle like that lasts a very, very long time. Okay, now I will put my elements back here, trying not to touch the front so I don't take any of the embossing powder on my fingers. And now let's see the magic. So I will take something just to, I don't think it will blow away. They're pretty heavy since they're not just papers. So here we go. And here we go. So let me show you an angle that you can actually see. Oops, hold on, there's a lot of glare. Well, there will be glare because it's shiny. I'm trying to show you, but now there we go. There we go. Now, isn't that just beautiful? It looks old. It looks exactly like what the word memory should look like. And here's the heart. And I'm glad to say it wasn't a mistake to put the embossing powder after. Just make sure when you, how do you say, wet your element, if there is eyelets already put, to just, make sure that the wetness, if you will, of that clear ink pad, if I can call it like that, goes everywhere around the eyelets so that the powder sticks everywhere. And look at that. Oh, I'm sorry about my finger full of powder and stamps, but there you go. There you have it. Isn't that just scrumptious? It's amazing, and it's thick and it's solid. It's a chipboard, and there you go. And we made it ourselves. Just a little note though, you probably saw me go really close with the gun, and the reason is I didn't mind if it became a little darker. I was not afraid of it really burning per se. It's not like a thin layer of paper. When you do thin layer of papers or anything else for that matter, I would be cautious of being too close with the heating gun. But in this case, because I had done it yesterday as well, I kind of knew where I was going with this, right? This one is dark. Of course, you could always have a lighter cardstock. Of course, you could also have completely white cardstock. It doesn't matter. It's really as you choose. The important thing is I would make at least, I would say, minimum of 4 layers, which I think is what I've done here, or 3 maybe. They're a little thin, but like I said, I stopped myself because this was enough for the example I wanted to test to see if it worked before I made the video. And I think this is still lovely, and I will use it, especially with the flower. That's why I wrote the word growth, because I think that with the flower, I will glue this on a journal somewhere, and I will put right next to it the word growth. And in our hearts could, of course, be put anywhere. And this really came out lovely. I hope you can really see that well. And this, like, I have this journal that I haven't finished yet, but something like that on top of a journal would look super beautiful. And that was the tip, tricks, and idea for your junk journal part 3. Now, before I let you go, I was saying that if you don't have embossing powder, I of course recommend it, because as you can see, it was easy peasy, very quick, and you have the shiny effect that you want. But I don't know if you noticed, but before I even put the embossing powder, first of all, this was absolutely scrumptious on its own. It just had another finish. It was a matte finish like this, and there was nothing wrong with it. It was absolutely beautiful. So you don't have to use embossing powder. This is just an additional, another finish, another way of finishing it, but you absolutely don't have to. Just this finish right there. This is also old and beautiful, so you can do that. But you could also use this glossy accent. Glossy accent works really, really beautifully. The only thing with this is it takes longer to dry. I usually do, like, if I use a lot of this, I don't have any example right now because every element I ever made went into journals, and they were sold. But I have used these before many times to make little medallions and things as such. The only thing with this is 2 things. Use your needle to poke the bubbles if you make any bubbles. And I usually make many the same day, put my glossy accent on everything, and let them dry overnight. And the next morning you'll have something, thick, of course, and shiny, and it's beautiful. The only thing is I've never done it with eyelets. I don't think I would either. I think it would be too complicated to go around without filling up the hole, and punching a hole through this doesn't work. It will crack. Unless you have managed to do it, I just can't be bothered, because I know this becomes very, very solid. Another thing you could use is, if I have matte medium, but I also have glossy medium. So if you just want to have a nice shiny finish, of course, all you need is glossy medium. It will work really well. The only thing I haven't tried, but I'm fairly certain it would work, is Mod Podge. I'm sure Mod Podge would also add a nice finish, shiny. And there you go. You don't have to have a shiny finish. Maybe you like this effect. Absolutely, why not? But there's a few options for you. So if you don't want to use the clear embossing powder to do this type of finish, like I said, glossy accent is another option. Glossy medium or shiny medium, what is it called? I got it. I went and got it. Gloss medium. So the gloss medium will add a nice shiny finish. So there it is. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you go ahead and have fun. Get your your punches out and make copies and copies, glue them all together, and you'll have yourself some mighty beautiful chipboards that will be the ones you want. I have a heart, I have flower, I have leaves, and whatever else you have as a die cut or punch. Now this is yours. You can make any ones that you want. So there it is. That was my idea. I want to thank you all for watching. I give you a great big hug from here in Nova Scotia, Canada. And again, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you to everyone who purchases my digital papers. You are making me so happy. I can't wait to show you the next series. I'm working super hard on them. They're going to be absolutely scrumptious and super vintage. And I give you a great big hug. Thank you for watching. I hope you're all happy, healthy, and safe. And again, thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye. Bye-bye.